sure I don't get it back, he says. Jason says.
Yeah, right. Well, colds do mutate. Probably not enough to for you to recatch it, though. All right. Come on, stream. You should be going here. Oh, you know what? I forgot to hit pre.
Go live.
Well
Hello,
done, Podfeet.
everybody.
Hello.
How are you,
Allison?
dear?
I'm doing good. So I'm going to take you off of Discord audio and put you on Mimo audio. Do you still hear me?
Which I just did for you. All
Okay, I
right.
still
Well,
hear you.
everybody, my voice is going asymptotic to being fixed, but it's still not there. But welcome everybody to the show. I don't see Alan in here, but I think I'm going to do roll call anyway. We've got Mike and Kevin and Jason and Frank and Jill and John and Rose and Rick and Sandy and Steve. And anybody coming in? Have we got Wheels? Yep, there he is. I see Wheels wheeling in.
Mike just snuck in on the nick of time.
Just in time.
Yep. Hello, Mike.
All right. So I've done an audio check. We've restarted Mimo Live 28 times. So we are probably actually ready to get started. And like I was saying, this is not going to be a long show because most everything is pre-recorded.
And I forgot my water. Well, I'll get it during a break.
All right, we'll go take a break because I'm gonna mute you anyway. Here we go.
All right.
All right. Intro. And, oh, that's what's wrong. This is too high. That's why I can't see anything. There we go. All right, here we go. Oh, John, you bought your wife a new M1 MacBook Air to replace a 10-year-old MacBook? Oh, she must have lost her mind. That's got to be quite the difference. All right, here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, August 1st, 2021, and this is show number 847. Well, as you can tell, my voice is just getting a tiny bit better every week, but it's still not back 100%, but that's okay. We're going to power through. This week, Steve and I had a lovely week-long vacation with our daughter, Lindsay, her husband, Nolan, and our two awesome grandchildren, Forbes and Sienna. We were able to take this lovely vacation only because Terry Austin, Charles Goucher, Ed Tobias, Bart Bouchatz, and Alistair Jenks were kind enough to write blog posts and record audio segments for you. This means we also keep our 16-plus year running streak of uninterrupted NosillaCast episodes going, which I'm pretty sure is unprecedented. That's easy for me to say, unprecedented in podcast land. And it also means you don't have to listen. Okay, come on. Too many. Charles Goucher, Ed Tobias, Bart Bouchatz, and Alistair Jenks were kind enough to write blog posts and record audio segments for you. Whoops. This means we also get to keep our 16-plus year running streak of uninterrupted NosillaCast episodes going, which I'm pretty sure is unprecedented in podcast land. It also means you don't have to listen to this voice very much. Let's get started and we'll take off with Terry Austin. All right. Add a chapter mark. That's a grand idea. Let's do that. Copy link. Copy. Oh, good. It's working today. Okay. And I have not muted my watch. Okay. So let's have Terry Austin. Started, and we'll take off with Terry Austin.
Hello, fellow castaways. Professor Terry Austin here with a problem to be solved and a review for the solution. As an online professor and education consultant, I spend a lot of time at my workstation. At that workstation, I've got a 2020 16-inch MacBook Pro that sits on a stand to my left. A 34-inch curved HP Envy monitor sits right in front of me. An Apple Magic keyboard with numeric keypad, that sucker's wide, and an Apple Magic trackpad drive all of this and take up a lot of the desk space in front of me. Man, that's a lot of magic. For several years, my old 10.5-inch iPad Pro in an Apple Folio would often find whatever space there was remaining on the desk. My primary use for an iPad in this workspace is as an additional external monitor for my Mac. Yes, I'm greedy for monitor space. I just traded in that old iPad for a brand new M1 12.9-inch iPad Pro. I've got the Magic Keyboard for that, but I don't want that taking up a lot of room at my station, so I needed a stand. I did what any responsible geek might do and ordered 3 tablet stands from Amazon that look like they might work for me. They all claim to support the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. Allison's got some images of these, and I'll let her decide what she'd like to share with you all. My criteria for selecting a winner were pretty straightforward. The stand needed to fit comfortably in my workspace and leave room for my Magic Trackpad, be stable when my 12.9-inch iPad was in landscape mode. I didn't really care all that much if it was stable in portrait mode, but that would have been a bonus. So I placed an order on Amazon for all 3 stands that I thought might work. They all claimed to support up to 13 inches in tablets, and they were all, as a bonus, under $30. That was a nice surprise. The tablets were, and these names are actually precisely what's listed on Amazon, the Use-On Foldable and Adjustable Tablet Stand 2021 Updated. The TriPro Tablet Stand, Portable Monitor Stand, Tablet Holder, Adjustable Height, and Angel. Yes, it says Angel. And
Yep, we did a roll call, Alan. We had to start. It was time. All right, I think I am going
So,
to...
in case there's any ambiguity, we start at 5 p.m. Pacific on Sunday nights.
Yeah, he's just checking.
All right.
He's just checking. So after Terry did this review of these 5 separate tablet stands, I sent him this picture that I took at Starbucks. Let's see, copy image. Right after he did this. Isn't that the worst thing you've ever seen?
That looks really stable. Is that a coffee cup or is it just some... What is that
I
thing?
don't know what it is. It just
Wow.
looked terrible.
And that, ergonomically, that looks a little bit high to me. I don't know. Just...
Yeah, it does. And look at the size of her mouse.
Yeah, everything about that just odd. But, you know, everyone kind of likes their own setup. Yeah, it does look like a thermos, Jason.
Wait, Kurt just got here and says,
did you
wait,
just
there's
get
a
here?"
roll call? Oh, I missed you on roll call, Kurt. All right, Kurt and Alan are here. Roll call is now complete.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think that's actually a PC, not an iPad, because it's got some a whole bunch of ports on the side.
We'll forgive her then.
All right, I'm going to keep recording here. Just going to play the tail end. Sorry, I muted you, dear.
Did you put a chapter mark in? Or for the next
I'm going
one?
to talk first.
Got it.
one, please let me know. And with that, keep listening and stay subscribed.
Ooh, I like the way you end that, Terry. Well, this is a great assessment of the different options out there for the different tablets. I really like that. You know, after Terry sent me this review, I was in Starbucks, and there was a woman with the weirdest setup. She had a full-size keyboard, one of the biggest mice I've ever seen. I think it's one of those stand-up ergonomic kind of ones. And she had this tube, maybe 4 or 5 inches in diameter, with a tablet sitting on the top of it to hold it at eye level. It was incredibly precarious, and it made me think she should have listened to Terry first. Anyway, it was so absurd, I took a photo of it, and I sent it to Terry, and I included that in the show notes. Okay, let me see whether Charles introduces himself.
Hold on. You said Charles?
Charles
Isn't
is
Ed up next? I thought Ed was up.
No, Charles is next.
Okay, so maybe I need to refresh.
No.
I don't see a post
Look
here.
for the picture of the woman
Yep.
directly below that. It should say Princess Medallion, Charles Goucher.
Home Assistant by Ed Tobias.
Where are you looking?
I'm looking at show 847 preview.
I don't understand
refresh
how that
again.
could be. Well, I only posted it up there once.
Yeah. No, that seems to
was
be
up
missing.
there.
And there is a blank spot, like there could have been more text, but there isn't.
Okay, hang on. Let me see what Steve's saying. What I do will override what he's saying anyway, but I don't understand how that could be showing that. Okay, preview. I mean, unless you accidentally erase something.
No, it
I
isn't
don't know that
preview.
Oh, the link is all screwed up.
That might do it.
Do you see the link? Actually, all the links look screwed up.
Oh, it just came in. Oh, that's because I clicked it from your...
All the links are screwed up. Okay, that explains something else. Okay, I'll deal with that later. But it's there in the preview. It's
okay. Just not coming across for me.
So
That's
those
okay.
links I sent you may not work.
I just tapped Charles' link and it did work,
Okay.
but not
All
not
right.
in the blog post.
Okay. So now I'm going to do... I'm not going to introduce Charles because he introduces himself. There we go. Okay, that's what's going on. Hang on, there's an ampersand. I got a bunch of Unicode in my URLs, and I don't know why that is. Let me check that. Yeah, that's definitely malformed. There's like a... That is really weird. There's some hidden characters coming in somewhere. And I don't know how they're getting in there. I can't see them. All right, well, I'm just going to have to watch it to make sure that I know it's wrong, but I don't know how to fix it. So we'll just keep going. Okay, here comes Charles Goucher. Split that. All right, let's see how that sounds. To Terry, and I included that in the show notes.
Hi folks, this is Charles Goucher from the Silicon Valley Mac User Group. With the COVID lockdowns finally relenting, I'm very happy to see one of my favorite travel options reopen: ocean cruising. My wife and I are sailing out on the first Princess cruise ship to Alaska next week, and we're excited to try out their new enhanced tech service, Medallion Class. Welcome to the future of cruising. No keys, no shipboard ID card. Each passenger gets a little medallion to wear and use around the ship. Physically, it's a little disc about the same size and shape as an Apple AirTag. You attach it to a wristband or pendant and go about your vacation. Heck, if you like, you can just put the thing in a pocket, assuming you have pockets while you're vacationing. Functionally, it offers some great features. Step on the boarding ramp, they already know it's you. No papers, no touching anything, you just walk right on. It's your new room key. You walk up to the cabin and the cabin knows you're there. It unlocks before you reach it. No need to put a key in any locks or slide any cards through the door handle. Make purchases anywhere on the ship. Use the medallion on the cash registers just like Apple Pay, and purchases are recorded directly to your shipboard account. And order food anywhere. Ask for a drink or a sandwich and wander off. The ship's crew will bring it to you wherever you are. Add to this the new Medallion Class app on your phone, and you can find your family members and companions wherever they are on the ship and get directions to where they are. This is great for keeping track of kids or wandering husbands. You can make reservations for dinner or shore excursions or the shows you want to attend at any time from anywhere. No more need to track down the sign-up sheets. And you can watch the ship's travel shows or do some gambling from anywhere on board the ship, assuming watching TV or gambling is your sort of thing. So what's actually going on here? The medallion is a Wi-Fi beacon. As you move about the ship, sensors track your medallion's location at all times. For purchases, There's a Bluetooth NFC chip in the medallion as well. Let's be truthful about it. It's a tracking system. This is not a bad thing. Service staff members will know where to bring the food you ordered because they know where you went. Family members can tell if you're still at the pool or if you're relaxing in the lounge 6 decks down. Ship's crew can tell if you've stepped back on board the ship or if they're about to sail away while you're still buying souvenirs at the tourist shop on land. If there's an emergency, crew will know exactly where everyone is, and they can direct you more efficiently to where your safe spaces are. And, most importantly in these modern times, they get full contact tracing. If a passenger tests positive for COVID,
I think this is I think this is actually really cool. I think Steve's just coming back. Hey, Steve, I fixed all of those. I still don't know how they went wrong. Actually, I know what I did that caused it, but refresh and you should have good links now.
Okay.
In theory. Okay. All right. I'm going to cut him off.
It still didn't. What's the hard refresh? Control.
Shift key and hit the refresh button. Do you think they work in water? That's actually a great question, Sandy. Maybe we'll hear when he gets back because he's going to give us a part 2.
I still don't see him. I don't see Charles's post. I see the others.
Do a Command F for Charles.
Well, in the intro, you mentioned his name, and that's the only place I see it.
Look for the word princess. Seriously, I mean, I'm looking at it.
Again, in the title. Oh, wait, there are 3 occurrences. Oh, tag. 2 tags in the title, but no, there's no blog post. Let me go to edit, see what it looks like.
I don't understand how he's seeing something different than I'm seeing.
Are you looking in your editor?
Let me verify it. Let me verify it just a minute. But I just pushed it up to the edited version. Oh, you're currently editing, so you stopped me from being able to edit.
I was previewing. I just went into edit to see if I could see the link. I can see it in edit. Let me get out of edit and go back to preview.
I see it in preview. It's right there. Princess Medallion by Charles Goucher. And it's a link.
Now it's up. Okay. I don't know. That didn't.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Everything's fiddly.
I had to go into edit and then back out.
Okay. All right. I am going to talk a little bit and then I will do my chapter mark.
Got it.
I'm looking forward to the trip. Bon voyage!
Well, Charles, that was really, really interesting. I'm glad you went through the details of like, well, what is it actually? It's a tracker, but then talked about what it does and why you might be getting some benefit from it. I think it's a really interesting idea. You know, I've only been on one giant cruise, and I know that at the very least, the process of checking everyone back into the boat is tedious and time consuming, and it caused long lines to get back on board. And of course, this process is, kind of critical, so nobody's left behind. I'm really curious to hear when Charles gets back to give us a recap upon his return to see if the Princess Medallion was as cool as it sounded. Man. I will get to that in 1 second.
So I had to leave to go start some things, but this is unique to Princess? This is unique to Princess?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
It's a Princess Medallion.
It sure looks like a AirTag. Almost
Looks
identical.
bigger to me.
Does it?
Don't you think?
Maybe. Hard to tell. Depends on the size of that person's fingers, I guess.
It looks like it's maybe like a $50 size. All right, so we're going to have Ed Tobias.
You might be right. It does look a little bit larger.
The Princess Medallion was as cool as it sounded.
Hello,
I think I need to do it.
Is Ed? Oh, Ed is here.
Yeah. Don't tell
Hello,
me you
Ed.
can't see Ed.
No, I can see Ed.
Ed, you're just in time. Literally just in time. All right. Okay, let's see what Ed Tobias has for us this week. How did you know, Ed? All right, here we go. For us this week.
Hello, NosillaCastaways. This is Ed Tobias, also known as Mr. Ed in the chats. I'm here to bring you another review of an app called Home Assistant. But in typical NosillaCast fashion, first, the problem to be solved. I love IoT devices. The only thing I don't love about them is that they're very fiddly and they don't play well together, especially if they're from different manufacturers. And they have to work well together in order to do something really cool. Also, a problem I have is that the firmware they use is under the control of the manufacturer, whom I don't know if I can trust to keep them secure, since they are all connected to the cloud in order to work. So what I'm looking for really is one hub to rule them all and provide me with extensive programming capability without exposing me to the wilds of the internet. Home Assistant seems to have provided something that comes closest to accomplishing that. Before I explain how it accomplished that, I want to describe the difference between home automation and a smart home. Home automation takes physical interaction to make something happen. For example, you can turn on a light with your phone, or set a security alarm with your phone, or ask a lady to turn on a light. In contrast, a smart home uses information from sensors to trigger actions without any human interaction. For example, it detects that I left the house and automatically locks the door and sets my alarm. That way I don't even have to think about it. Home Assistant provides the necessary environment to connect the sensors to the devices in your home with easy-to-use automation to turn your home into a true smart home. It runs on a Raspberry Pi and it has interfaces to over 1,000 IoT devices, as well as secure connection to all the gals, like A-Lady, S-Lady, and G-Lady. Does Google use a female voice? I don't use Google Assistant, so I don't know. It even connects directly with HomeKit. Home Assistant is open source, which is good, and it's extensible with large community for support for add-ons. These add-ons allow you to add interfaces that other people have created to control all kinds of devices. Any connections that require communication to the cloud is done via an encrypted interface through the Home Assistant hub, so there is no direct connection from the device to the internet. It runs completely locally. The IoT devices can still use their native apps to function, but it's not required. I actually used some cheap smart switches that I have replaced the firmware on with open source firmware and removed the need for all communication with the manufacturer. You can operate Home Assistant from a browser, or you can use the mobile app that they have for both Android and iOS. If you want to use the mobile app outside of your home Wi-Fi network, they also have a service which communicates back to your Home Assistant app using a very secure encrypted connection. It doesn't require you to make any changes to your router, so it's much more secure. That service costs $5 a month, but it's well worth it. Once you connect your IoT devices to Home Assistant, it automatically will create a dashboard where you can monitor and control your devices. You can edit the dashboard using a built-in GUI editor to make it look any way you like, and you can add additional dashboards that are accessible from tabs at the top of the page. You can create not only buttons and switches, but also sliders for brightness and color control, and many more interfaces. There are graphs and dials to display sensor data as well, and with add-ons you can make just about anything you want. I have a graph card on one of my dashboards that plots the wind speed for the last 48 hours. So that you can get an idea of what the UI looks like, I will have Allison post a screenshot of my user interface in the write-up for this review. The real power in Home Assistant is the scenes, scripts, and automations that you create to autonomously control your devices. Scenes are used to define a set state for a group of devices. For example, when I watch TV, a TV time scene is activated which sets the two family room lights to off and the TV backlight to on. That scene defines that lighting configuration. To
Allison? I'm not hearing you. Let's see. Is that just me?
Nope, that's Allison muted
Okay.
because she was clearing her throat too much and forgot to unmute.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. What I was saying while I was on mute was that I was going to tease you guys and stop right there because I want to make sure you have fun listening to it later. But I was tempted to play the whole thing because Ed was here and you know how that kind of thing goes. But I better keep going. All right. You didn't lose the audio. I wasn't broadcasting any audio. Wait, am I still gone?
No, I hear you. Hold on. Let me see. I'm listening now in Memo. Let me listen in Discord.
Okay. Ed says we're back. Ed says he hears me.
I hear you twice, so that's good.
Wow, that must be quite a delay. Oh,
well,
Michael.
on YouTube, it's 15 seconds, I think.
Okay, wow. Michael came in. Yeah, no chapter marks yet. I got to do a little response to Ed, and then remind me again. Okay.
It. I hope you give it a try, and I hope you enjoy automating your home and turning it into a true smart home.
Well, this was really cool, Ed. I think a Home Assistant sounds like something that would be really fun to play with. I'm going to cheat, and it turns out I'm going to be able to get a private lesson. You see, Ed and I are friends in real life, so he's going to come over and help me set it up. A few years ago, we had an open house to celebrate the completion of our home improvement project, and it was around the holidays, so most people brought something yummy, like cookies or wine, but Ed brought pie, a raspberry pie. How awesome is Ed? Such a nerd in the best possible way. Anyway, that means I already have a Raspberry Pi to use to set up Home Assistant. But then I started noticing, and somebody pointed it out, and I can't find out where they wrote it, but somebody wrote to me and pointed out that you can run Home Assistant as a Docker container on a Synology. So maybe I'll try that too, but it's so much nerdy fun to be had. Thanks, Ed, for a great review. Well, this week's awesome person, other than the 5 people who made the show happen, is Joseph Dargy, or possibly Dargy. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. He listened to the entire Taming the Terminal series that Bart and I created, and he liked it so much he sent a very generous donation. He included a note that said it was worth every penny after his donation. If you've been getting value out of Taming the Terminal, Programming by Stealth, Chit Chat Across the Pond Light, or the NosillaCast, you could be awesome like Joseph and go to podfeet.com/PayPal and make a one-time donation so you too can say the shows are worth every penny. Thank you, Joseph, for showing your appreciation in a financial way. Did he say send a penny? No, he's not. Okay, now I'm going to do I need to find out whether Bart introduces himself.
A hay penny will do.
A hay penny will do. Nice. Let's see. Speaking of Bart, he's got a review for us as well. Okay, so now I'll do the chapter mark that Kevin has been whining about here. I can't believe my voice is gone again. Maybe I need to record early in the day. He's got a review for us as well.
Hey folks, Bart here, all on my own. Alison's off getting herself a holiday, so I volunteered to do a little solo segment. Very strange to be talking into the microphone without Alison on the other side to keep me on the straight and narrow. But hey, we do what we must. So, what am I going to talk to you all by myself? I thought I would share with you the story of how I fell in love with AirPlay 2. So, I've basically...
This is 19 minutes long.
Wow.
Yeah.
I take it you're
But
not
who
going to
can't
play
listen?
the whole thing.
No. That blog post for Bart made me want all of those toys. Yeah, definitely.
But the text doesn't seem like 19 minutes. Well, maybe. Yeah, I guess it is a little bit longer than your average blog post.
All right, I'm going to talk a little bit here.
world has been of some interest or help to some of you. And until we speak again, happy computing.
Well, Bart, it's definitely of interest to me, and I was really intrigued that you just sent in this explanation of your love of AirPlay 2 right now, because I was actually about to write up my own recent experiences with AirPlay 2. My love of the tech is the same as Bart's, but my solutions are completely different, so I think it'll dovetail really nice into his review. Thanks again, Bart. That was, as always, awesome. Okay, now does Alistair introduce himself? I think everybody did. Wait, why do I have... Oh. Alistair sent in 3 reviews. Nope, he doesn't. Okay. And now we are going to leave this gravelly voice and switch over to the dulcet tones of Alistair Jenks. He's an overachiever, but we love listening to his dulcet tones. Yeah. By the way, I made him last because everybody hates to have their voice right after him. Listen to this difference.
Chapter
to
mark?
The dulcet tones of... Oh, sorry?
Chapter mark?
Oh, yeah. If Kevin would just remind me.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Thank you, Kevin.
In late 2020, Agile Bits, the folks behind 1Password, published a blog post entitled Randomness, or Things Humans Do Poorly. It's a fascinating article on randomness in computers, but near the beginning is this paragraph. As I've alluded to with the title of this post, humans are notoriously terrible at creating randomness. You'll doubtless have heard this concept before. Indeed, Alison mentioned it in her recent and excellent rundown of everything a password manager can do for you. But, while we are naturally poor at randomness, we can learn. A lot of years ago, I was visiting a company office in another city when the manager, Dennis, called me into his office. These were the days of dumb terminals connected to a central large computer. That large computer was my area of responsibility, and he was trying to log in, but could not remember his password. The passwords on this system were short, between 6 and 10 characters, but did require the use of at least 1 digit. It was at this time I developed a simple method of coming up with new passwords I would be able to remember, as we had to change them every 60 days. Think of a topical word between 6 and 10 characters in length that has at least 1 letter I or O in it. Your password will be that word with any I's replaced with 1's and O's replaced with 0's. An example might be hospital, H0SP1TAL, if you'd recently had the misfortune to visit one, or holiday if you were looking forward to one.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. He goes on to something much better than what he just described, but it scared me to death that he was telling everybody to just replace O's with 0's and 1's, L's with 1's. Did you say something, Steve?
I take it those were the good old days. Not recently.
Didn't seem like Sunday without the live show. Yeah, I agree. It seemed like being on a plane with... Oh, shut up, John. All right. Okay, I'm going to finish us off
John,
here.
You weren't here last week, Puffy?
I have 3, 4, 5 links. Is that enough? 5 blog posts?
1,
Love you too.
2, 3, 4, 5. Sounds good.
Okay. I'm going to do a bunch of recording here.
But that requires a lot more concentration to avoid obviousness.
Boy, Alistair, you really had me nervous at the beginning when you were talking about just using 1's and 0's in regular words for passwords in these times. I know in the old days that was something we could get away with, but I was sure relieved when you moved on from that. You know, it's a fascinating solution to the randomization problem. I got to say, I don't have enough energy to work out a password like that, and I'm pretty darn sure I could never remember it afterwards. You know, I've got xkpastwd.net right here at my fingertips on all of my devices, and one password to store the passwords I generate from it. I'm glad you have the brain power for that, but for me, I'm just going to do it the age-old way of using Bart's tool. Thank you so much for sending that in. And by the way, I put Alistair's voice last, so nobody had to go after him but me. And boy, that must have been a shock to hear me come in. But that is going to wind us up for this week. I want to thank everybody for all their wonderful contributions. I really appreciate having that full week to relax with the family. But don't forget to send in your dumb questions. We haven't had a dumb question in a long time. You can send in your Everything is Fiddly recordings as well, comments and suggestions by emailing me at allison@podfeet.com. Follow me on Twitter @podfeet. And remember, everything good starts with podfeet.com. Okay, what was that guy's name? That was our big hero. I want to put his name in again. His name was Joseph. You can become a patron by going to podfeet.com/Patreon. Or, really, I forgot his name in that length of time. See why I can't do that memorable password thing?
Joseph.
Joseph. One more time. If you want to become a patron, you can do that by going to podfeet.com/Patreon. And if you want to do a one-time donation like Joseph did, go to podfeet.com/PayPal. If you want to join in the fun of the conversation, go to podfeet.com/. It's like every word is getting truncated. I'm missing half of my words. If you want to join in the fun of the conversation, you can do it in two different ways. You could go to Facebook at podfeet.com/Facebook or go to Slack at podfeet.com/Slack or join in both. You meet completely different people in the two places, so it's a lot of fun in both places. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Boy, does that sound terrible. Yeah.
Well, you're done.
I
mean,
guess.
finished.
How am I going to do
I mean,
a recording
completed.
for Dawn? Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Do a chapter mark count. I think we already did that, didn't we?
Yeah, 5.
5. There's 5.
There
Well, if
are
I had half a
5
brain.
chapter lights.
All right. I think we are just about ready to call it. I'm going to export this file.
Maybe go rest up your voice.
Yeah, or get
Maybe a
some
little.
rye. I find that rye really helps it. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for coming. I am definitely going to go give my voice a rest, and we'll see you again next week.